Drills Talk, episode 44. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 reasons nostalgia is killing your future. This is based off of a blog I wrote entitled Stuck in Nostalgia. Nostalgia is remembering the good old days, just kind of being stuck in the past. You're reliving something over and over and over again, and not realizing that when you do tell these stories, you're telling it to the same people. And the first couple of times, first two, three, 4 times, okay, yeah, that's cool. It was a great time. We're gonna listen. But after a while, it's like, look, we know you told us.
Yo, Drills!
Drills Talk, episode 44. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 reasons nostalgia is killing your future. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, show your love however you would like to show your love. Share it, let everybody know what I'm doing, that you like it, and they may like it also. Every Monday here, we got a new blog. Every Wednesday, new vlog, Drills Talk. Every Friday, we have a new beat, instrumental, produced by me. It's a great channel to follow. For those who already joined, thank you for joining. All the newcomers, welcome. Let's get started. Number one. Number one is there were issues then too. And one thing we forget about when we're thinking about the good old days is that it wasn't all good. I mean, we're taking out little pieces of great things and we're chaining it together as if, all of high school or all of college was great. And we know that that's not true if we sit and think about it, but we tend to forget about that. And realizing that is like, okay, well, if this great thing that I keep repeating over and over again in my head, if that was okay and great, but also all of this other stuff kind of happened and occurred, then now that can also occur. The bad things can happen and I can still have these great pieces of life that is going to stick with me throughout life. Those are more memories, new great things that I can say, okay, well, yeah, this happened then. The Al Bundy story, I scored 4 touchdowns in one game. He was like 40 something, 50 something years old telling the same story from high school. And a lot of us do that and we don't realize that. And the thing is, hey, there were bad days in high school. There were days you came to school thinking everything was cool and you forgot a paper or you didn't do the homework or you failed the test or you got, embarrassed in gym class or whatever. But overall, you remember, getting together with your friends and going out for lunch or sneaking back into the building before lunch was over and all this other stuff. A lot of good things happened then, yes. But it was mixed into regular life. Just like now, you can mix in great things with your regular life. Great things can still happen. Give yourself a chance to make it happen, please. Number two. Number two is you're not making new memories. You're cheating yourself. You're not giving yourself the opportunity to have more great times that you can tell, have more stories that you can tell. You're acting as if these stories are the only stories that you can ever tell. And you are going to get there because you're not making new ones. You need to take a trip. You need to meet new people. You need to go places you wouldn't normally go because that's where the new stories and the new exposure to new people is going to give you those new stories. It's going to give you that new feeling of nostalgia. You're going to be able to say, okay, well, every time I go to this museum, I think about when I met my new friend such and such. Or when I go to this museum, I think about this painting I saw that sparked my interest into this, which opened up all of that. Everything kind of can chain together and you have to give yourself the opportunity to go do that. Go live life, make new memories. Yes, it was great. Spring break in college. It was awesome. Try going as an adult. It's probably a little better. It's probably going to be even more awesome because you have money now. You're not sneaking in and trying to get there before, you start to pay and, trying to get a free drink and all this other stuff. You can just relax. You can get the expensive table. You can, go to the club that, has a huge fee at the door that you couldn't get into when you were 18, 20, 22 years old. There's a lot of things you can do now that you couldn't do then. And you have to give yourself the opportunity to do them. Live life. Enjoy it. There's plenty more to go. Number 3. You're telling yourself that was your peak. Imagine if you're in your mid-30s, mid-40s, mid-50s, and all of your stories are about when you were 18 to 25. You're telling yourself that the last 30 years, just nothing if you're in your mid 50s, right? You didn't do anything since you were 25 years old. That can't be true, right? You're telling yourself that your peak was in the beginning of your adulthood. You're cheating yourself. You're not living life. You're telling yourself that it gets no better than high school or when I graduated high school or college life or right outside of college. That is not the peak. Your life is not going to be peaked out, or if you think it is, you're going to refuse that now, and you're going to say, I'm going to create a new peak, because you cannot be a grown person and all of your great stories are about when you were a child, basically. That's not cool. That's not okay. What did you do with the last 20 years? What did you do with the last 15 years? What did you do with the last 5? What trips have you taken? You know, did you make any new friendships? Did you make any old friendships stronger than what they were? Did you have any great relationships? Did you have any cool jobs? Did you experience anything? Are you living life? These are good questions, and you should have good answers for them. Number 4. Number 4 is it stops you from adapting. You're stuck in the old ways, and you continue to do the old things because that's what you know. Let's think about malls versus e-commerce. Let's think about Barnes and Noble versus Amazon. Let's think about Blockbuster versus Netflix. One company evolved and adapted, the other companies did not. And the other companies are gone. Have you been to a mall? I know, there may be still pandemics and, people in certain areas, and depending on when you're watching this, but malls are ghost towns. You know what I mean? You have the big malls, the big, department stores, and then you have nothing, and then maybe this one new store or this small boutique, and then four places where you can actually go to eat, and everything else is closed. Malls are ghost towns now. Everything is online. It's e-commerce to the fullest. Amazon was they sold books first, just like Barnes and Noble. And at first they started off with the tablet. Barnes and Noble's had a tablet, and they had the Kindle Fire, right? And then it was like, okay, well, we're gonna do more than just sell this. We already beaten Barnes and Nobles with the books, but we're gonna do more. We're gonna sell everything. We're gonna sell everything. We're gonna A to Z. That was always the goal, but that's not what they started with, right? But that was always the goal. And Barnes and Nobles were like, no, we have brick and mortar stores. You come to us and you buy a book. That didn't work. That was nostalgia. That was how we used to do it. We used to go to a bookstore, sit in a bookstore and read a book or read a magazine. Nobody's doing that anymore. Amazon knew that that's what, people were going to do. They adapted. They were ready. What about you? If you don't adapt to what's going on in the real world now, and you're always focused on what happened then, that's no longer the real world. The real world is now. How are you going to adapt? What about your business if you start a business? What about your relationship? If you get into a new relationship and you're just stuck on how it used to be or what your ideals were then, it's probably not going to work out. You have to get out of nostalgia. You have to enjoy it, but understand that you're not stuck there. That was a moment in time. That was a capsule in time. And remember that it wasn't all great then. Just like it's not always all great now. You can make great things happen within your normal life and create new memories and adapt. Be great. Thanks for listening. Drills Talk, episode 44. It's the top 4 reasons nostalgia is killing your future. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's Drills.com. Check this out. It's Drills.